Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating. We are unpacking an award-winning piece of science communication by R.N. Luengo Martinez. He's a student from Girona and the winner of the Eureka Divulgadores 2024 contest. His original article, El Tabaco, un tóxico seductor, is just a complete masterclass. It was originally written in this beautiful, natural Spanish, and we've gone ahead and translated its brilliant insights into English for you today. We're going to explore a topic that is, quite frankly, everywhere in our society. It's something we all think we understand, but we rarely see it broken down with this level of clarity. We're looking at the exact biological and psychological mechanics of tobacco.
Okay, let's dive into this. We really need to start with this incredibly powerful quote from the author. The main problem with smoking is that it offers an instant solution in exchange for a long-term problem. I mean, that single sentence perfectly captures the core paradox of smoking, doesn't it? It's not just some bad habit, it's a profound biological trade-off. People don't smoke simply because they want to harm themselves. They do it because it provides an immediate, tangible benefit in the moment, a benefit that completely masks the catastrophic debt they're taking on for their future.
So that actually brings up a really crucial, direct question that we have to ask if we're going to be honest about this subject. Why does a toxin feel so good? Seriously, if a product is literally destroying the body from the inside out, why do millions of people eagerly consume it every single day? Before we can understand the damage, we really have to validate the smoker's initial experience. Smoking provides genuine pleasure, intense focus, and a real sense of relief. To figure out how to beat it or why people even start in the first place, we first have to unpack the biology behind that pleasure.
Section 1. The Illusion of Relief, Understanding the Physical and Psychological Grip.
Okay, look at the stark contrast in timelines here between your body and your mind. It's wild. On the left side, the purely physical addiction to nicotine is actually incredibly short. It only takes about 72 hours, literally just 3 days, for your body to completely clear the nicotine from your system. During that time, sure, you might feel stressed, nervous, kind of jittery. But look at the right side. The psychological addiction, that can last for months. Your brain intimately links the physical act of having something between your lips to focusing on work, taking necessary mental breaks, or just socializing with friends. It acts as a crutch, curbing your appetite, making bad moments feel a little less bad, and good moments feel even better. It completely tricks your mind.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 2. Inside the smoker's lungs, the Trojan horse of tobacco.
Now this is where we uncover what I like to call the Trojan horse of tobacco. When you take a puff from a cigarette, you're pulling in billions of particles. But look at that massive slice right there. 95% of the smoke is actually made up of harmless-seeming gases, things like carbon dioxide and water vapor. Because of that, the smoke feels relatively smooth and benign. But hidden inside, represented by that tiny 5% slice, are particles known as tar. These tar particles, made of nitrogen or carbon, are the true Trojan horse, because they are packed full of the highly addictive, magic ingredient, nicotine.
So let's actually walk through the physical journey of that puff. Step 1. Billions of particles interact with your throat and trachea. The tar lands on your natural mucous membrane and turns it into this sticky brown substance. This completely paralyzes your cilia. Those are the tiny, hair-like structures that normally do a sort of dance to filter out dirt and bacteria. Step 2. With your guards paralyzed, the nicotine freely enters the deepest part of your lungs, the alveoli. Think of these like delicate little inflatable sponges. Step 3. Because the walls of these alveoli are incredibly thin to let oxygen pass through, the nicotine rapidly crosses straight into your bloodstream. Boom, just like that.
Section 3. The brain's chemical hijack, a cocktail of transmitters.
Here is the massive chemical reward your brain gets, and honestly, it explains exactly why this toxic habit genuinely feels so good in the short term. Your brain just releases an absolute flood of transmitters. Epinephrine and cortisol spike, making your heart beat faster and getting your body ready for action. At the exact same time, dopamine floods your system, making you feel happy and relaxed. Beta endorphins kick in to reduce pain and stress. And the nicotine itself manages this contradictory miracle. It excites you and calms you simultaneously. You feel more alert, you concentrate better, and your nerves become hypersensitive to pleasure. It's a massive rush.
But here is the biological trap. We call it overcompensation. Your brain doesn't just passively accept this chemical flood, it fights it. It tries to restore normal balance. Because you constantly have nicotine running through your veins, your body drastically alters its chemical baseline to compensate. And the tragedy here is that when the nicotine wears off, your body is left in a state of massive imbalance.
The more you smoke, the more your body shifts its baseline. Eventually, actually scratch that. It's more like, without a cigarette, you literally no longer feel like yourself. You're not just smoking for pleasure anymore. You desperately need it just to feel normal.
Section 4. A body under attack. The systemic destruction.
So now, this cocktail of chemicals violently attacks your system on multiple fronts. Because, well, nicotine doesn't just arrive alone. It brings friends. Carbon monoxide actively reduces the amount of oxygen your blood can carry. Then you've got heavy metals like cadmium, lead, and arsenic. These toxins literally scar your blood vessels from the inside out, causing proteins to leak and creating dangerous blood clots. This narrows the vessels, forcing your heart to work dangerously hard just to keep blood flowing. And it even attacks you visually. The toxins trigger enzymes that break down collagen, completely destroying your skin's elasticity and causing premature aging and wrinkles.
But perhaps the most tragic irony of this whole thing is what happens to your body's natural defenses, the immune system paradox. Seeing your lungs filled with dirt, your immune system sends in white blood cells called macrophages to clean up the mess. But the nicotine makes them slow, confused, and incredibly inefficient. They start attacking invisible enemies, and even worse, as they struggle, they release substances that literally dissolve your own healthy lung tissue, leaving behind tiny wounds that turn into permanent scar tissue. It's literally an inside job.
Meanwhile, those delicate alveoli we talked about earlier, the inflatable sponges where breathing actually happens, are put under extreme stress. Unable to handle the constant assault, some of them literally pop like balloons. This causes irreversible damage to the respiratory system. As your body desperately tries to stop the tar, it secretes excess mucus, which leads to that trademark chronic cough. This is the onset of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Your organs become totally starved of oxygen. And the terrifying truth, once this destruction of the alveoli starts, it never ever improves.
Section 5. The ultimate price. The long-term problem.
70. That number right there is a devastating biological reality. While your immune cells are confused and paralyzed, slowly destroying your own lung tissue, you are simultaneously flooding your organism with at least 70 distinct carcinogenic substances. You're introducing 70 known cancer-causing agents into a body whose natural cancer-preventing defense system has just been completely disabled by the very same habit. It's a perfect storm.
So, the crucial point is 10. A smoker loses an average of 10 years of life. 10 years! And it's a terrifying lottery. Some might lose only 5 years, while others could lose up to 25. You never know which statistic you're going to be. And it's not just a shorter life either. Because your immune system is compromised, you spend a much larger portion of those remaining years suffering from frequent illnesses.
Now, if we look at the data on this issue, in the year 2000, the adult smoking rate was 34%. By 2020, it had dropped significantly to 23%. So we are making progress, but make no mistake, the addiction remains incredibly sticky. Nicotine is one of the most addictive substances humanity has ever encountered, and it predominantly traps teenagers, locking them into a lifetime of addiction before they ever fully grasp the biological consequences we've been discussing today.
8 million. I really want you to sit with that massive, sobering number for a second. 8 million people died globally last year due to tobacco. It remains one of the most dangerous, legally available activities you can engage in. It's entirely optional, but the sheer scale of the devastation it leaves behind is practically unrivaled. Which brings us to our final thought. The best way to not become addicted is to not start. Knowing the mechanics of this Trojan horse, understanding the illusion of relief it provides, and seeing the irreversible biological destruction it causes to your lungs, your heart, and your immune system, the only true winning move is to avoid the trap altogether. So as we wrap up this explainer, I leave you with this question to ponder. If an instant of chemical relief is guaranteed to cost you a decade of your life, is the illusion of that relief really worth the trade?